Minimal pair is a pair of words that differs in single phoneme sound, and a pair of words has only sound and sound difference only, like a fan, van, desk, risk, tin, din, similarly. And lingua franca is a language, it is a way of communication, it is a mixed language also, and it is a third language between the people of a different those people have two different mothers. They use this as a link language, and it is also known as trade language, contact language, international language, vehicular language, bridge language, common language, or global language. And English is a lingua franca, and it is used internationally for the by the business community. And Mediterranean also a lingua franca, and English is the international lingua franca used both as a pidgin and Cyrillic. And jargon is a particular vocabulary used by the professional, trade, or group, because the jargon was used by plumber. There were plumber jargons, physician jargons, and the technical jargons. There were many type of jargons, and in jargon is a French word which means the scatter of words. And slang is the subculture. Slang term, we always use slang, our own slang, no? That is a subculture. And moving on to the other topic, that is the branches of phonetics. Phonetics have three branches. One is articulatory phonetics, that is the production of speech sound. The another one is the acoustic phonetics, which is the telling of speech sounds in air. The auditory phonetics is the receiving speech sound through ear. The airstream mechanism is a very important thing, because in this the excretion means the air outside from the lungs, and the incretion is intake of air inside the lungs. And using this airstream mechanism, there are three type of airstream mechanism. There is the Valeric airstream mechanism. It has a limitator, back of mouth, air set in motion in this airstream mechanism. The another one is glottis airstream mechanism. It is the initiator, and it has a closed glottis, and the air is settled in the pharynx used. And the pulmonic airstream mechanism is it uses the respiratory muscles which moves the walls of lungs, and air drawn from and pushed out from the lungs. I have drawn the picture, the position of the production of sounds, and mention the places where the sounds were produced. Please do make note of this. And moving on to the phonatory system. Phonatory system, this is very important. Why? Because phonology is a very important topic in the language study, because it is the study of speech sound. It is also known as phonemic system of language. It is the phoneme is the smallest unit of phonetics. And this term was first used by Kurosziwski, and in 1870. The classification of theory was formulated by Daniel Jones, and the destructive features of this theory formulated by Tubertsky. And phonetics is a Greek word phonotikos, which means uttering of sounds. And phonemes were the broad phonetic transcriptions, and phone were the narrow phonetic transcription. The phonetic writing was authorized by the International Phonetic Association, and allophones are the sound variants of the same sound. And received pronunciation is formulated by Daniel Jones. This is very important, and it is used in Southeast England. It is also known as Queen's Tongue, King's English. Oxford and Cambridge use this, and BBC also use this received pronunciation while pronouncing this English language. And it is and there is a standard, it also resembles the standard English, standard Indian pronunciation also. And the speech organ has three parts. They are the articulatory, phonatory, and respiratory system. And the articulatory, we have all the parts like lips, tooth, tongue, palate, nasal cavity, and pharynx, and all the activities I have mentioned here. Please do make note of this very clearly. And moving on to the phonatory system. Phonatory system composed of glottis and larynx. It is also known as Adam's apple, that it is our throat position. And it has four states: the open, rounded, narrow, and the glottis is vibration. And the vocal cords, a pair of lips-like structure is called the vocal cords. The shape is called larynx. And the third one is the respiratory system, that is the lungs, windpipe or the trachea. And the speech sounds of English has 44 speech sounds, and they have been divided into 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds, and 8 cardinal vowels were given by Daniel Jones. And in the 20 vowel sounds, they were 12 pure vowels and 8 diphthongs. In diphthongs, 2 vowels glide together, so they were called as diphthongs. And in the 12 pure vowels, they were monophthongs, and we have 7 short vowels and 5 long vowels. Well, moving on to the classification of sounds, consonants, they were voiced and voiceless, and they were classified according to the manner of articulation and the place of articulation. I have made a table regarding the manner and the place of articulation here, and this is a rough copy of mine. During this time, because of this time shortage, I have presented it here. Please do make note of this. These were the manner of articulation. They were called as plosives, fricatives, affricates, nasal, lateral, and frictionless consonants. And in the place of articulation, we have bilabial, labial, dental, alveolar, post-alveolar, palatal alveolar, palatal, velar, and glottis. And the state of glottis were known as voice, which in the vocal cords have vibration. We have 15 sounds, and the voiceless, we thought they were the consonant sound made without vibration. We have 9 voiceless consonant sounds. And I have mentioned about the manner of articulation. In the manner of articulation, plosives means is air passage, a sudden close of the tongue and the lips, and a sudden release from the lungs. And in the fricate, we have 6 plosives, and in the fricates we have 9. In fricates, we have 9 consonant sounds. They were the impending of air in vocal opportunities and narrowing air escapes with the fricates. They were called sprints. And affricates, we have 2 affricate sounds, and the partial and complete air closure of lungs, and the air passed through the mouth or nose. Nose. And the nasal is a blockage of oral passage completely, and the air passes through the nose. They were called nasal, and we have 3 nasal sounds. And in lateral only, we have only one sound, consonant sound, that is the tip of the tongue and the alveolar ridge are passed on both sides, and if L or double L, only one sound will be hearing, and it is dark when followed by the consonant. Similar example, told. And approximates or the semi-vowels, we have 3 sounds. In it, the stricture, the strictures of open approximation, and the vowels it sounds similar like the vowel sound, but act as a consonant, and they are also known as glides. The frictionless consonants are there are 3 type of frictionless consonants, and which is one is the R. Moving on to the place of articulation, bilabial. While in the bilabial, we have 3 consonant sounds. The active participants are the lip brought together and the upper lip touches the lower lip. And in the alveolar, we have 6 consonant sounds. In that, the tongue rises to the tip towards the ridge. And in palatal, we have 1 sound. In that, the abstraction between the tip of tongue and a hard palate happens. And in palato-alveolar, we have 4 consonant sounds. In this, the front of the tongue touches the soft palate. And in dental, we have 2 consonant sounds. In that, the tip of the tongue touches the upper teeth. And in labiodental, we have 2 sounds. In that, the 2 lips touches the upper teeth. And in velar, we have 3 sounds, consonant sounds. The back of the tongue touches the soft palate. And labiovaleric is we have 1 sound, that is bilabial similarly. And the glottis also, we have only one sound, and in which the air passage through the glottis, which means the vocal cords. And in the post alveolar, we have only 1 sound. In that, the tip of the tongue touches the back of the teeth ridge.